This is Secrecy Watch, watching the watchers.
A new record group recently slipped into the National Archives without a press release, without a podium, without a single camera pointed at the door. Just a line of text on a government web page, which I will include in the description below. Most people never saw it. Someone scrolling late at night wouldn't stop unless they hunted for UFOs or UAPs on purpose, someone like me perhaps. But inside NARA, the National Archives, a new record group carries weight. It marks a shift. It tells archivists, researchers, and everyone paying attention that something has changed inside the federal machine. Record Group 615 signals that change. The National Archives doesn't build new record groups on a whim. These groups form only when the government generates enough material, that is, enough reports, enough correspondence, enough internal churn to justify their own container. They sit like growth rings inside a massive tree trunk, each one revealing a story about what the government studied, feared, or tried to bury. Before Record Group 615 existed, UAP documents lived scattered across older collections, Air Force intelligence, Project Blue Book reels, CIA cables, DIA summaries, NASA logs, FOIA litigation, congressional manuscripts, a messy sprawl of leftover threads without a single home. But now that home exists. Archivists carved out a dedicated space for UAP materials, and they don't do that unless the volume climbs. The pressure rises, or an agency somewhere decides that these files need a defined path. Look at the timing. Congress pushes for transparency. Arrow publishes historical reports, although, of course, they haven't found any evidence of extraterrestrial life. Whistleblowers speak on record. FOIA requests pile up. Agencies update classification guides. Pressure builds long enough, and something shifts. Record Group 615 is an indication of that shift. Not disclosure, not revelation, just structure. Record Group 615 isn't a dump. It's a funnel. Documents feed in from every corner of the government. Air Force operational logs, DoD Inspector General audits, IA threat reports, presidential memos moving toward eventual declassification. Anything tied to UAPs now flows into the same archival bloodstream. That's the power of an RG designation. It creates a pipeline for the future. To the casual viewer, the page looks plain. A few sentences, a label, a link, but inside the National Archives' long memory, this marks a permanent seat at the table for this issue. Arrow might dissolve, and some of us hope that it does. Committees might stall. Powers might shift. But Record Group 615 stays. Archivists maintain it. Historians use it. Future investigators trace it back to this moment. This is the government saying quietly, UAP records belong in the National Archives. It's not fringe. This is not something that is temporary, not scattered across unrelated groups. This is acknowledgement, public, structural, enduring. And inside those plain lines of text sits the real message. The UAP conversation is no longer a storm on the surface. It has roots now, buried deep inside the federal record system, where time can't erase it and politics can't smother it. A new record group appeared, and that alone hints at far more than it reveals. Thank you once again for watching. This is Secrecy Watch. If you like the content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and ding the little bell to get notified of new content. We'll see you next time.
This is Secrecy Watch, where we talk about the gatekeepers of government secrecy and the mechanisms they create and employ to hide the truth about UAP and the nature of reality.